Welcome to episode 4 of the Chronic Presence podcast. My name is JC. I am the host. I'm also the founder, creator of the Chronic Presence mentorship, and I dropped the ball. I haven't made an episode in a few weeks, and that's okay. I ended up having some health challenges pop up, as I've shared on the first few episodes. There are some autoimmune symptoms that I'm working through, and once in a while they still kick my ass. So I decided to remove pressures and just move through kind of the necessary parts of my day. Today I wanted to share a little story, and it's probably going to be a quick episode, but I want to walk you guys through what some of the mental and emotional challenges that I've been through over the last couple of weeks, but it's not really about me. It's more about how can you hear yourself in these stories, and how can you maybe use the perspective of someone else's lived experience to shift or apply it to what you're going through, learn from it, grow from it, disagree with it, right? We don't have to agree with everything we hear on the internet. And that's what we're going to do today. So I had an event over the weekend that just passed where I was asked to get up and give a short speech. 3 minutes, like it was very, very, very short. And I had prepared for it. I had actually written out a script, which I never do. I pretty much always wing it, as anyone who's watched episodes 1 through 3 already knows. And I was actually really excited about the script that I had prepared for this speech. It felt very divinely orchestrated, like very aligned, and as if it had truly just come through me from God. I didn't really feel like it was my own workings so much as my own ability to surrender to what I was hearing. So all of that led to me feeling incredibly confident going into the evening. What ended up happening was I started to get more nervous as the time came for me to get on stage. And that's really out of character for me. I'm quite comfortable winging it. I'm quite comfortable in front of crowds. I'm quite comfortable in front of the camera. I did public speaking competitions my whole youth. It's just not something that, for me, feels intimidating or stressful. But the closer that I got to standing up on stage in front of 200 plus people, my heart rate started to boost. I could tell that I was actually forgetting pieces of this speech that I had prepared. I could tell that the speech I had prepared wasn't quite going to land exactly the way that I wanted to based on the energy of the room. And I just got nervous. So by the time that I actually went up to speak, I had forgotten what I was going to say. I was shaky. I actually felt like shaky in my voice and in my body. And I did my speech. It was 1 minute and 30 seconds because I quite literally forgot half of it. And when I got back down to my table afterward, I had this moment, quite an intense moment of, oh, I completely fucked that up. I wrecked that. It didn't make sense. It didn't come across confident. I had a really quick cycle of thoughts about all the ways that the speech went poorly. And in the past, I would have ended up spinning out quite badly there. I would have ended up really anxious, embarrassed, absolutely with a lot of negative self-talk. And I likely would have stayed in that and stressed about that for many days, if not even like a couple of weeks. But I've been surrendering. I've been practicing surrender. I shared this on my Instagram page this morning or the day after the event. I've been praying over and over and over again for the last week and a half. Holy Spirit, change my perspective of myself so that I can be who God needs me to be to fulfill his will. Change my perspective of myself so that I can see myself as God sees me. Change my perspective of myself so that I can fulfill his plan for the world. And that it changed a lot in the sense that I felt like I was going to nail the speech. But when I got off the stage and I started noticing that negative self-talk attempting to creep in, because I had been praying that prayer, because I had been practicing that mindset so intentionally over the past couple of weeks, it immediately came to me when I noticed those negative emotions and those negative thoughts pop into play. And so I just stopped and I said, Holy Spirit, change my perspective of this to be the person that God needs me to be. And immediately, like within minutes, I realized to be the version of myself that the world needs for God's light to shine through. I can't be obsessed with perfection. I can't be worried about how other people perceive me. I can't try to control the perception of who I am in the world. Because if I am trying to control that perception, I am going to filter. I am going to mask. I am going to speak in ways that aren't authentic to myself or in ways that aren't authentic to what God is asking me to do. And that's just not, it's just not where it's at. That's not it, friends. So the person I need to be is someone who's completely okay with screwing up, completely okay with the fact that that time it didn't go the way I envisioned it. Someone who's completely okay with the fact that my worth, my value, my talent even isn't dictated by a 1 minute and 30-second chunk of one single day at one single event. And when I had that realization, everything just dropped. Like my shoulders dropped, my breath got deeper, my heart rate slowed down. And all of the fear, all of the anxiety, all of those protective parts telling me to run away and hide, they just quieted down. I shared that story on my Instagram later in the evening because I actually found quite a bit of humor in it. And then something really interesting happened the next day. A friend of mine was sweet enough to film the speech for me, and she sent me the video. And when I watched the video back, I was very much prepared to be viewing myself on that camera as that kind of shaky, uncertain, inarticulate version of myself. Keep in mind, guys, I was so stressed, I don't remember the speech. It kind of blanked from my mind. But when I watched it back, that minute and 30 seconds that I was on stage was actually very structured and articulate and appeared to be very confident. So I went through all of these really powerful perspective shifts of, oh, I'm so worthy of being on this stage. I'm so confident about this speech. I have this nailed, to, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be here. I don't know what I'm doing, to, oh, yikes, I butchered that, into, yeah, but I'm fine. I still love myself. I'm still loved. I will learn from this. I will grow from this. It's going to be a funny story to tell a few years down the road. All the way into, oh, that speech actually was completely fine. in and of itself. It didn't look messy. It didn't look uncertain. I looked like I very confidently stood up there and said what I wanted to say. And it actually did get the key points across that I had wanted to get across. And I think that it's really important for us to remember that every single part of that phase, or that process, serves its own role. It's okay that I thought I screwed the speech up. It's okay that I immediately moved into acceptance that it wasn't a good speech. It's okay that I laughed about it afterwards and decided that I would use the film footage as a growth experience. And it's okay that when I got the footage back, it actually turned out to be pretty good. We get so stuck in the fear loop. Like, imagine how much angst and anxiety and self-doubt I could have ended up in if I had just decided to believe the thoughts that happened in the first 30 seconds after I got off that stage. I wouldn't have even been able to watch the video that I got sent, and I would have stayed in the belief system that I fucked it all up, that I ruined my chance, whatever. And my question to you is that as you hear that story, are there areas in your life where you are so committed to your negative perspective, to your self-doubting perspective, to the self-defeating perspective, or that kind of perspective towards another person, that you're not even willing to see evidence to the opposite? Where you're so committed to the stressful, harmful narrative that you can't even fully look at the evidence to see that possibly your perspective is wrong. Whether it's in relationships, in your career, in your business, or in your relationship to yourself, all of us have narratives that we're attached to in some degree. Even if you've been doing the work for years, there's room to look at that. So what narratives are you so attached to that you avoid looking at evidence that could point to the contrary? I promise you, it's worth looking at new perspectives. It's worth being willing to consider another perspective. You don't always have to believe it. I'm not telling you to change every belief you have by any means. But I can promise you that if the perspective is one of negativity, self-harm, self-doubt, that there's a lie behind it, and that by choosing to be open to another way, that lie will slowly start to lose power and slowly start to lose its control over you. And it will free you to see that truth. It will free you to see something greater. It will free you to become the version of yourself that is needed to fulfill your destiny, your purpose, your greater intention in the world. So that's the story of how I ruined a speech that I didn't actually ruin, and really the entire process was a learning curve for me about perspective and faith. And I will see you guys all on the next episode. I hope this sparked something for you. Would love to hear about it in the comments if it did. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because it does really help the algorithm. And I just want to be able to share this with as many people as possible.